FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
Welcome. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz, and today is March 27th, 2020. Well, we've been going through quite a time here. Coronavirus. Well, if you listen to the media and the politicians, it's existential. It's going to kill us all. The reality seems to be something quite different. We've now seen it go through enough countries, have enough outbreaks, enough responses that we really have a much better understanding of what this is all about. And it can be serious, especially if you're in that vulnerable category class of the population. But for the most part, if you're not, you have little to worry about. Well, anyway, what do you think about this coronavirus? I want to hear your opinion. I want you to write me. Please send your email to kl@kerrylutz.com, kl@kerrylutz.com. Right now we have a special treat, Dr. Rana Al-Falaki, and she's speaking to us from London, woman's empowerment expert, strategic life coach, master speaker, and author of #1 best-selling of Women Who Want More, How to Create a Balanced and Fulfilled Life. Hey, we really appreciate you coming on with us, Dr. Al-Falaki. And, well, so we've got this new normal. What are we supposed to do? Are we ever going to go back to our old normal?
That's a very good way to look at it, Kerry. It is a new normal, and I honestly don't think life will ever be the same again. It's interesting. We were due to hold a couple of one-day workshops called Re-Energize Your Life, because the type of coaching I do is all about sort of raising your consciousness and your energy levels and recognizing that you have choice. And understandably, we've had to cancel them. So we're looking at what do we do later on in the year, and I've just been rewriting the script. And the first thing I said was, I've called it now Recover Your Losses. And of course, we're all going to have so many losses. We may have a loss of a business. We may have loss of money. Some of us will feel we've lost freedom, albeit temporarily. And very sadly for some, we may well lose loved ones. And so in all of that, I don't think anybody's going to come out of this untouched in some way. And so often we grow as human beings through tragic experiences, and through trauma. We grow much faster than we do through the fun times. And this is a real global amount of stress and trauma for so many people on so many different levels. So our normal won't quite be this of lockdown, but we will find a new normal, which isn't going to be where we were a couple of months ago, and it's definitely not going to be where we are now. But I'm really hoping it's going to be one where we are stronger, we're more connected, we're more responsible, we're grateful for more, and we help each other more as a human race on every level, even, and with businesses. I actually think in time they will thrive, but this is a tough time for everybody.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, it reminds me of what Eisenhower said, that things are more like they are now than they've ever been before. And certainly that's our new normal here. So obviously changes happen. It's a kind of traumatic event. Even if it wasn't as traumatic, the media made it to be extremely traumatic. And recovering from trauma, what are some of the ways that you recover from it?
Well, it obviously depends what type of trauma it is. And one of the biggest things is to be able to vent it. When you bury trauma inside you, that's where it's much more likely to manifest down the line through some kind of physical illness, chronic illness, chronic fatigue. We were able to change the genetic mutations in our body to trigger off chronic illnesses and cancers and all kinds of things. So the first thing is to get it out there, to express it. And this is a time for connection. So we can start doing this right now. there's no point us venting our anger and our frustration and our judgment, because that's not going to get us anywhere. But just verbalizing what we may be feeling, what we may be experiencing, flipping things around in our brain to reflect on, okay, what's the positive of this? What can I get out of this? Where's the opportunity here? All those things, to literally get it out of you instead of bottling it up, is the first step to trying to deal with the trauma. The other thing is learning to surrender, because it's a little bit like a brick wall has been put up in front of us all right now, and we can't get past it. So we've got choices here. We can, try and get a sledgehammer. We can be knocking our fists on this wall trying to get through, but nothing's going to get through right now, and there's a valid reason for that. So the other thing we could think is, okay, we're stuck on this side of the wall. What can we do with ourselves? And so you make that switch in your brain to look at opportunity and think, how do you make the best of the situation? So it's about surrendering, accepting that there is nothing more you can do other than act responsibly, stay home, don't spread it to anybody else. And then just accept, because when you stop fighting, then you're not using up all this potential energy that you could use for so much more benefit, and that's going to make you a hell of a lot healthier as well.
Yeah, so just accept it and go along, huh? What if you feel like you're being manipulated and used and abused by the media and the politicians? Are you supposed to just accept that and let it go?
Okay. Absolutely. So this is the thing, and I was very much in that place. I was doing loads of Facebook Lives, trying to just say to people, just calm down, just calm down. This is all fear-mongering, and obviously all this mass energy isn't going to help anybody. The media obviously feed and propel themselves forward on issues to do with news, and this is big news, and therefore, it's coming in and out of our ears. But actually, the data that's coming through now in Europe is showing that, if I give you an example, in the UK, where I'm dialing in from, is where Italy was 2 weeks ago, and they had experienced about roughly 250 deaths 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks later, they're at 6,000 deaths. And what we're starting to see now is actually those deaths are not all the elderly, like we'd all said. We are, an 18-year-old here died in the UK just yesterday, and other people in their 50s and their 60s. So much of it is about how it's communicated. So if we try to hear the underlying message behind the press, because obviously, their news sells stories, and so everything is glorified and dramatized and makes us more fearful, which is not a good thing, because that's not going to help us with our health or feeling powerful. If anything, we feel powerless. But again, it's about flipping it around and trying to hear the underlying message, and that can be so powerful in itself, because that's what then gives you choice. So if you have the media who are spouting out some massive load of rules and scaremongering, you could shut yourself off and just say, actually, well, that doesn't concern me, but what's my immediate environment? So you go back to this being stuck in the garden with the wall that's up. Okay, what's my immediate environment? I don't need to worry about what the media are saying, but what can I do at this point in time to help people around me? So it's distraction tactics, but it's distraction tactics that make you feel better, finding a purpose, finding an opportunity, finding a place for gratitude, finding a place for service to help somebody else who needs you, stepping up into a position of responsibility of knowing that, okay, well, you're going to stay home, or you're not going to spread it, or you're going to homeschool your kids, or you're going to work from home, or whatever it is, and consolidating onto what you're doing for the cause. Not worry about the media. I mean, I've never worried about the media. I never watch the news, but it's just about how I isolate yourself into your own life and what that means for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes complete sense. Oh, total sense. Mm-hmm. So what about preparing for the future? So if things are not going to be what they used to be, then how do you prepare for what they are going to be?
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next.
Silver One Resources is an exploration and development company backed by strategic investors Eric Sprott and SSR Mining. At Silver One's Candelaria Mine project in Nevada, there is already a historic resource estimated at 127 million ounces of silver, which Silver One is developing and advancing. The company's Phoenix Silver project, located within the Arizona Silver Belt, is an early-stage exploration project on which native silver vein fragments have been discovered near surface. One grab sample assayed an astounding 14,688 ounces per ton. Yes, that's right, ounces, not grams. Silver One has tremendous exploration potential, is extremely leveraged to the price of silver, and is cashed up and poised to increase shareholder value. Silver One trades in New York under the ticker SLVRF and in Toronto under the ticker SVE. To learn more, go to silverone.com. That's silverone.com.
The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
And again, the future is unknown. So much of what we have to do at the moment in this form of surrendering, and a way to do that is to think, okay, what's the worst that can happen? And you peel it back and you peel it back till you realize, okay, the worst that can happen is at the moment I'm going to stay at home with my family and spend some time with them, in which case that's not such a worst. But how you prepare for the future, again, this is what propagates and sets up worry, because none of us know what that future is going to be right now. What you can do from a purely business point of view, if your business is suffering, this is a time not necessarily to sell like crazy, but it's a time for connection. So how can you retain your clients? How can you maintain your relationships and your contacts? Use the time to be able to reach out to them, to reassure them. Go to your email list, your customer list, whatever that happens to be. Communicate with them. Share your stories with them, no matter how big or small your business is, because this is such an important time for human connection as we're all starting to get more and more physically isolated. It's a brilliant time to share your story, to give yourself an identity behind the name, behind the brand, so you can start to build and prepare for what the future holds. Because a lot of people, of course, are going to be suffering from this from a financial point of view. The other way is also just to keep going, but from a physical point of view, you've got to try to maintain your health. Because if you're going to emerge from this healthily and ready to sort of, hit the ball rolling, you need to have energy, you need to have good physical strength. So try to continue to eat healthily. When you get up in the morning, even if you're in lockdown, have a shower, get changed, start your day as you would have it, as if you were going out to work. Encourage those connections and relationships still with your friends, even if you have to do it virtually, so that you're not isolated. Think about meditation. Think about reading and enriching your life in some way, because anything you learn now, you're going to take that through when people will be desperate for that physical connection in a couple of months' time when we get through this.
Yeah. So all that's well and good, but for right now, you're suffering and you need some kind of release. You can't go to the gym because the gym's been shut down. You don't really like to run.
Yep.
You have to find different releases for anxiety, stress, or whatever.
You do. So so in terms of just exercise, the internet is working. YouTube is phenomenal and it has any type of exercise in there. There is so much stuff that's online. If you happen to have had a personal trainer, or there were personal trainers at your gym, get in touch with them, because an awful lot of them will train you virtually, so through distance, if you prefer to do that through some kind of online platform where you can see each other and therefore still maintain that connection. So you can still do things physically. Even in groups, you can still do stuff virtually, but you're each doing it from the comfort of your living room, but still connecting and talking to each other. Even, Facebook Lives, all of that kind of stuff. It's funny. We lived in a world that we got to the point where we could pretty much control everything from our living room or from our phone, right? Our phone became one remote control to control the TV, to control the lights, to do everything online. But yet now it's actually being forced on us. It's a case of we all want to go out. Isn't it funny how we take all those simple things that we took for granted, and now we won't do that anymore. And then, of course, there's learning meditation. Meditation isn't for everybody, but there are so many apps that people can download and find something that works for them. If you're just starting out with something like that, which is brilliant for anxiety and fear, you could just start with visualization. So it's not a case of putting music on and, I'm just going to try to meditate, because that's so difficult to do. But just visualizations that take you through a process to help you feel calm and relaxed. And then it also goes back to the venting, talking to your friends, talk to people, to be able to vent out that frustration and that anxiety. Speak to a coach. I've been offering free coaching sessions for anybody who is feeling anxious and fearful. I'm also volunteering, and I'm coaching a lot of our healthcare professionals at the moment who are going through that traumatic state. But, certainly any of your listeners are welcome to get in touch with me, and I'm offering a free 1-hour coaching session where they can try and get to specifically those aspects that relate to them, for strategies that they may be able to implement to help them get through this tough time.
Yeah, and it is a tough time for many of you out there, but there is hope, and we will get to a new normal eventually. And I think it'll be sooner than anybody thinks, because they're actually doing a cost-benefit analysis, the cost of locking everybody up and shutting down the global economy versus protecting the vulnerable from the potential coronavirus infection and letting the rest of us go about our normal lives. And, choices have to be made. So if there's 3 things that you can do right now, doctor, to totally turn your attitude around, what would they be?
Turn my attitude around into which favor?
Well, into dealing productively with what's going on here.
Okay, yeah, okay. So the 3 things that I would say, and you're in lockdown where you guys are, Kerry, right?
Yeah, well, we're not locked down. We are free to come and go from our homes here in Florida. There's just no place to go to other than the supermarket or Target or Walmart. So we might as well be locked down.
And that's exactly it. Laughter, Kerry. Okay, that's what I would say. Laughter is the most beneficial thing you can do. So I'm sure you're getting it in the US as well. We have so many things that are being shared online of funny jokes and funny videos of people, and it's not insensitive. People, people are not making fun of coronavirus or what's actually going on, but just silly things I've had things sent to me that huge, massive pickup trucks, and all there is one roll of toilet paper on it, for example, and then it makes you laugh. Yeah. I've seen videos of mothers going absolutely mental because they've started homeschooling their kids, and after day 1 they feel suicidal. So it's just laughter. Laughter is find something to laugh about and share those jokes with other people, because that will immediately lift your mood and has unbelievable health benefits. So that's number 1. Find something to laugh about. Number 2 is actually a physical thing I would advise you to do. And we started to do it. We started to create a coronavirus playlist. And each of us in the household picks one of those songs each night. So, I think we had the other night, we had an Elton John song of something about, this will all be over soon. And I think I had a Kelly Clarkson song of, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Just, silly things like that. But again, and it is silly, but you put this music on, rank it up as loudly as you can, and dance around your living room like you are absolutely crazy. Your energy levels will go through the roof, and trust me, you will feel funny and great about this. And then the 3rd thing is actually put your financial situation on paper, because it's so scary when it's in your mind, the same as all these emotions and feelings. If you actually start to put down on paper, okay, how can the mortgage be covered? Who do I need to contact to do this? How can my rates or loan repayments be covered? Who is going to help me with this? What's my food budget? What do I actually need? What am I saving on by the fact that I'm not going out? And therefore, how much more money is coming in which case I recognize that we, as a household, we don't need to survive on what we were spending before, because like you said, there's nowhere to go other than Target and Walmart. So making a financial plan and putting it down on paper will make it so much less scary than what you actually think. So those are my top 3.
All right.
Laughter, playlists and dancing, and put it down on paper, and your fears will never seem quite so bad.
All right. Makes a lot of sense. And we really appreciate you coming on. And hey, there's hope. You just got to change with the change. The only constant in life is change, as they say. And that has not changed regardless when we're talking about. It's always been that way. So we just have to bear that in mind. Anyway, Doctor, just tell us your website, where we can find you and take advantage of that generous free 1-hour coaching session.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what I was just going to say, the river is flowing very fast right now. And it's a bit like when you're whitewater rafting, you just have to let it take you. So my website, there are 2 things on my website. So you can connect with me through my website and just go to the quick contact on the top right-hand side and just say you would like to take advantage of that session, and I will get hold of you and we'll book you in. And there's another thing on my website, so I'll give you that link. So for anyone who is feeling anxious, there is a healing visualization type meditation on there, which is about 5-6 minutes to listen to as many times as you like, to sort of send healing and feeling freer, calmer, and and fearless. So it's a coronavirus healing to help to send healing out to others as well. So my website is www.lightchangescoaching. That's LIGHT, lightchangescoaching.com. And then the link is that /coronavirus to download the meditation.
All right. Excellent.
All completely free, and I'm more than happy to help anybody.
Excellent. And we'll have a link in the show notes to this interview on financialsurvivalnetwork.com. You find us on Twitter at Kerry Lutz. Please send us your emails. Let us know what you think. KL@KerryLutz.com. That's KL@KerryLutz.com. And don't forget Facebook. Our Facebook page is Financial Survival Network. Hey, Doctor, it's been a pleasure having you on, and wish you the best of luck. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much, Kerry. It's been a pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.